James Gunn continues to be a bit of a wild boy of Hollywood, and he gave another wild boy interview to Variety. And he said some things that I think deserve discussion, and we're going to go through them in this video here. In an article titled, James Gunn Says the Movie Industry is Dying Because Films Are Made Without Finished Scripts, and Marvel Got Killed by Output Increase, quote, that wasn't fair, by Zach Sharf from Variety, we get the following. James Gunn has stressed from the minute he took over DC Studios that no superhero movie under his watch would go into production without a completed script. Now, in a new interview with Rolling Stone, the filmmaker attributed the so-called dying film industry to Hollywood's fatal mistake of always making blockbusters before their scripts are officially completed. I'm sure that this contributes to that in some way, shape, form, fashion, facet, or manner. But also, nothing is good. Everything sucks, and there is politics in everything. It's everything. On every level, movies are not what they were. Movies are going through a rough patch. It's not just that movies are being made without a completed script. Sure, that doesn't help, but look, just like with that first Iron Man, because we're going to get back to him blaming that for Marvel's downfall, or partially for Marvel's downfall. Well, it worked for Marvel for a little bit. Iron Man 1 was made with Jon Favreau and Robert Downey Jr., and Robert Downey Jr. kind of doesn't maybe like a script all that much. You've heard him say, I don't read the script reads me. Was that just a line in a movie, or was that line put in the movie because Robert Downey Jr. was in it? Which would be an ultimate irony because he did end up delivering the line from the script. But I think that the reasons for Hollywood's failure are myriad. And it's not just the politics that are in the films themselves. It's the politics that keep actors from doing things that are required of them by the script. It's politics that have kept very talented people from positions of power in Hollywood. It is a complete systematic failure that started around a decade ago in Hollywood. I do believe that the reason why the movie industry is dying is not because people are not wanting to see movies, Gunn said. It's not because of the home screens getting so good. The number one reason is because people are making movies without finished screenplay. Now, you wouldn't know that unless you were already in the theater. You wouldn't know that the movie is failing unless you were already sitting in the theater watching a failed script by failed actors in the hands of a failed director. You wouldn't know it. You wouldn't know it unless you were already in the theater having bought the ticket. Gunn noted that DC Studios recently, quote, killed a project, end quote, because the script couldn't get to the right place, explaining everybody wanted to make the movie. It was greenlit, ready to go. The screenplay wasn't ready. And I couldn't do a movie where the screenplay is not good. And we've been really lucky so far because Supergirl's script was so good off the bat, and then Lanterns came in, and the script was so good. Clayface, same thing. So good. I'm skipping words so that YouTube does not hate me. So we have these scripts that we've really been lucky with, or wise in our choices, or whatever the combination is. So the thing that I took from this paragraph of the Variety article, I did not know that James Gunn was officially the Kevin Feige of the DCEU. I thought he was a decision maker and would be responsible for certain things. I had no idea. He's Kevin Feige over there, from what it seems. He is talking about green lighting scripts and actually killing projects. Killing projects is something that would make the studio very upset with you if you did not have total control. Another thing Gunn said that is working in his favor is that there is no corporate mandate from Warner Brothers to churn out a certain number of film and television projects at DC Studios. Gunn is an alumni of Marvel Studios, having directed 3 Guardians of the Galaxy movies and a Christmas special, and he noted that Disney's mandates to increase Marvel's output amid the launch of Disney Plus had negative impact on the larger universe. Disney CEO Bob Iger has openly admitted to making this mistake. That's not true. It's just not true. You're not asking for Shakespearean scripts. None of these people are going to be responsible for writing Emily Dickinson level poetry. No one is being asked to write The Godfather for Marvel. Pretty good scripts will do. I promise you, pretty good scripts would be just A-okay with most Marvel fans. There are plenty of people to write pretty good scripts. There are plenty of people that could give you a pretty good Jessica Jones season. There are plenty of people who could give you a pretty good Wolverine miniseries. There are plenty of people who could, and look, I could sit down right now and list you 150 easily Marvel characters that people would watch. You want a Nightcrawler series? So do I. You want a Colossus series? That'd be cool. You want an Archangel series? You don't know you do, but you do. That story, you do. Do you want a trilogy movie of Norrin Rad? Oh, yeah. Oh, you do. It's incredible. All of these characters would be absolutely phenomenal in the right project. We have to go no further than James Gunn to know that. Who had ever heard of the Guardians of the Galaxy before that movie? It became a trilogy. It might be Marvel's best trilogy. Start to finish, pillar to post. It might be the best trilogy that they have to offer, the most thorough and complete. I know there was a lot of guff around that third movie about the way that animals were treated on screen. I say get over it. It's a movie. They're all CGI. You don't remember all of the Disney movies and the terrible things that happened to characters in Disney movies when we were growing up? Anyway, the problem is not too many things. The problem is you refuse to find the people to make the things go. Daredevil and Punisher, and Jessica Jones for that matter, went through great series at Netflix. Netflix apparently just went and tried to hire the people that would do the job and do the job well. That's not what Marvel is doing. That's not where Marvel is going. It has nothing to do with volume. It has to do with quality. Upping the volume does not automatically decrease the quality. There used to be tons of entertaining things on television and Netflix and in the theaters and plays all over the place. It crashed not because the stories aren't there to be told, but because the powers that be are not picking the people who will tell stories well. That's it. That's it. That wasn't fair. It wasn't right. And it killed them, Gunn said of Marvel. We don't have the mandate at DC to have a certain amount of movies and TV shows every year. So we're going to put out everything that we think is of the highest quality. We're obviously going to do some good things and some not so good things. But hopefully, on average, everything will be as high quality as possible. Nothing goes before there's a screenplay that I am personally happy with. That's a little bit rough. Is James Gunn the ultimate arbiter? He better be, right? With Gunn's Superman arriving in theaters next month, his DC Universe is about to launch. Only one other movie in the new franchise has completed filming, 2026's Supergirl, but the plan is to build out the universe on the big screen with movies about Batman, the Brave and the Bold, and Wonder Woman. Batman's my biggest issue in all of DC right now, personally, Gunn told Rolling Stone, and it's not I'm not writing Batman, but I'm working with the writer of Batman and trying to get it right because he's incredibly important to DC. Can you imagine someone from Marvel saying that right now? He's incredibly important to DC, as is Wonder Woman. So outside of the stuff that I'm doing in these projects that are actively going, our two priorities are finishing our Wonder Woman and Batman scripts. Batman has to have a reason for existing, right? He continued. So Batman can't just be, oh, we're making a Batman movie because Batman's the biggest character in all of Warner Brothers, which he is. But he's but because he's but because there's a need for him in the DCU, and the need that he's not exactly the same as Matt Reeves' Batman. But yet, he's not a campy Batman. I'm not interested in that. I'm not interested in a funny, campy Batman, really. So we're dealing with that. I think it's just a way in, by the way. I think I really know what it's. I just am dealing with the writer to make sure that we can make the movie a reality. Gunn said developing a Wonder Woman movie is actually easier for me because there haven't been so many infinite portrayals of Wonder Woman. Definitely not in movies, but really anywhere that there have been of Batman. Every single Batman story has been told, Gunn concluded. It seems like half the comics that have come out of DC over the past 30 years have Batman in them. He's the most famous superhero in the world with the most popular superhero in the world and the most popular superhero in the world. And people love him because he's interesting, but also having so much of him out there can make him boring. So how do you create a property that's fun to watch? This is going to be Batman, in my opinion, the ultimate test of what it is that James Gunn can do. Can James Gunn throw a curveball in that wacky looking universe of his? So, one of the things that I have talked about a little bit on this channel is the fact that one of the things that makes Batman so interesting is that he is the infamous, internet famous Sigma male personality. Can that anti-hero Sigma male personality exist within the world that Gunn is building? It is yet to be seen. I think he can pull it off because that's kind of what Rocket Raccoon was in Guardians of the Galaxy, right? So if he can pull off Rocket Raccoon, it sounds sort of a weird thing to say. If he can pull off Rocket Raccoon, he can pull off Batman. But I think that there is the room there for him to do that. I'm not sure about the DC universe. The Superman movie doesn't look good to me. The Superman movie looks like a television show to me. I don't get, and again, this from limited exposure, right? I don't understand Superman's personality in the film. Superman was always one thing to me, and that was going back to the archetypes there, the alpha male. So one thing that I think, the reason I bring that up, one thing that I think James Gunn might be able to pull off with his Batman series is, well, the Batman animated series. In the Batman animated series, Batman was not quite the archetypal Sigma male. He was not quite the anti-hero that he became in the comics, but he kind of has always represented in the movies. He was more of an alpha type personality. And if there's a way for Batman to exist in what it looks like the DC universe, cinematic universe, is shaping up to be, I think that it would be a Batman that trends more toward an alpha type personality. And what you can do with that is Superman in these ads, at least that we have so far, looks kind of goofy. Even his personality seems kind of goofy. Now, in a world where the ultimate alpha male is kind of goofy, the way that he's probably going to be because it's in the James Gunn film, having an archetypal alpha type male becomes something of an anti-hero. Someone who's just straightforward and straight to the point becomes sort of this brooding as it gets in that universe type of personality. Anyway, that is all I have for this video. If you like or appreciate what it is that I do here, hitting the like button really does help me out, as it tells YouTube to share this video with others. And if you find yourself here by chance but not design, this is the type of thing that I cover pretty often on the channel. So consider hitting the subscribe button to stick around for more. And as always, I hope to have you back for the next